how do we go about changing this to vertex form? Now remember, look, our goal, right, this is standard form. Okay, now remember, our goal is vertex form. Looks like this. Okay, now I will tell you, for this, this is just going to be a 1. You can just like ignore it. It's not going to be there. So what we're just looking at is we're looking at creating something like x minus a number in parentheses, x minus or plus a number in parentheses, and then an extra number. Now, what I want you to take a moment is pause and think like, where have I seen this before? Like, where have I seen something like this and I want it to look like this? And remember, where we've seen this before is completing the square, right? So we're actually going to use pretty much the same strategy we use for completing the square. Now, the difference is, look, I still want a y on this side. Remember, in completing the square, like I wanted a number on the other side, then we square root of both sides. We're not going to do that. So I still want the y over here. Now, what I want, remember when we have an equation, we can add the same thing to both sides. And because that doesn't mean anything, right? If I add something to both sides, then the sides say equal. Here's what I'm going to do here. Look, I'm going to add a number. And I'm going to subtract that same number. So what does that mean? That just means I'm adding 0, which like I'm allowed to do because it doesn't mean anything. So I'm going to add a number here and subtract the same number here. Okay, I'm going to add a number here and subtract the same number here, so I'm doing nothing. So now, look, this is where completing the square comes in. What number am I going to add here, right? And what I'm thinking is like, oh, right, this is the thing that I'm going to factor. This is the thing that I'm going to factor, and I'm going to get something squared. So remember, if I'm going to factor it and get something squared, I need these two, right, I want this and this number to be the same. I need these two numbers to add to -8. So what is that? Oh, that's -4 and -4. So it's going to be x minus 4. And then remember, those same two numbers that add to -8, they have to multiply to this number. So here I'm going to add 16. Okay. Now look, this is an equation, so I can't just like add 16. That's not allowed, right? I can't just like add things. That's not cool. But what I can do is I can add 16 and then subtract 16. Right? And if I add 16 and subtract 16, that's doing nothing. That's just, you know, that's 0. Okay? So now, look, this part becomes this, right? This x minus 4 squared. And then this part, this is 12 minus 16, that's -4. Okay? So look, there it is. There's my vertex form, x minus h, right? And then squared plus k. Okay? So again, you're completing the square. In this case, instead of adding something to both sides, you're adding something and subtracting that same something from the same side of the equation. And then you're just kind of like factoring this piece, simplifying this piece, and that's it.